brutality.
What is up everyone, Movie Worm back again with another review, and this is going to be for the 2022 film Terrifier 2, and this is directed by Damien Leone and stars David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera. This tells the story of Art the Clown returning to Miles County to wreak havoc on the residents here once again. Well, I finally got to see one of my most anticipated films of 2022. In fact, this was actually on my most anticipated movies of 2021 video, but COVID delayed the whole production and it was pushed back another year. So you can say that Terrifier 2 has been a long time coming. And I remember I watched the first Terrifier film and I just thought, wow, I want more of this Art the Clown character and these type of slasher kills that we're getting here. And I'm an absolute sucker for killer clown movies. And Terrifier was actually one of my favourites after I watched it. So a lot of other people have been clamouring for this sequel as well because it gained a little bit of a cult following, that first film there. And we finally got our wish. So what did I think of Terrifier 2? Well, let's find out. Now, two things that really stood out for me for the first film, like I said, were Art the Clown himself, but also the brutality of the kills in that film. And you bet your ass you're going to get more of that here. In fact, Terrifier 2 takes it up a couple of more notches there and just absolutely takes no prisoners. In fact, all it does is leave dead bodies in its wake. And some of the stuff you see here is just plain and simple hard to watch. I mean, we all slasher fans like to see cool creative kills and just people being cut up and stuff for the fun of it, but Terrifier 2 is more elevated. It takes it up 10 more levels, and I just couldn't believe that people had actually thought of some of these creative kills and actually put them on the screen. I was watching it and just thinking, wow man, they have gone above and beyond here. And there's a ton of variety in the kills here, but one scene really did stand out to me more than anything, because this kill scene seems to go on for about 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes there, and I just couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. I'm not an easily shocked person with movies, but here it had a bit of an impact on me. No usual slashers, the way someone is killed and you just think that was fun, next kill scene please. Here I was just kind of wanting Art to stop because no one deserved the amount of pain that this character was being inflicted upon. I was just watching it going, man, I felt some of these things that she was feeling. I was wincing at the screen. But what made it more shocking to me is the fact that Art the Clown is just having the time of his life. The more pain that he puts on this character, the bigger his grin gets, and he's just having so much fun, and it was just a crazy contrast for me. But it's a kill scene that was etched in my memory for sure. The first one done it with the hacksaw kill, but this one I think may have been even more brutal. And Art the Clown really is the star of the show here. I know a lot of people were pushing him for him to be the next horror icon. It's been a while since we've had a Freddy or a Jason type character there, and I can see why slasher fans want someone else to look up to, if you like. And I always thought he had the potential to do it. I did after that first movie, maybe with future sequels, but the more we see of him, like Terrifier 2, of course, this could happen. And the fact that this is getting a cinema release in the US across, I think it's 700 cinemas and stuff, and people are hearing about this film coming out and they're going to want to watch the first one before the second and stuff, and more people are going to come to this franchise, I think he has even more potential than ever. But after seeing this film for myself, I think he has surpassed that potential, because Art the Clown is a genius slasher villain. I mean, you simply just can't take your eyes off the guy. First of all, the whole look of him is awesome. It's so unique looking and different. But David Howard Thornton brings so much more to this role. I mean, he's mostly a mime here in these movies, and everything is told through facial expressions, through his smile, through his mannerisms, and David Howard Thornton just gets all that down to a T. He is just something the slasher genre simply needs from now on. The fact also that he is just so deadly, he has no compassion for anyone, he never ever thinks twice about letting one of his victims go, just brings even much more to this evil clown. He is just there to fuck you up and nothing else. And even though I found a lot of these scenes kind of hard to watch at times, I also, on the other hand, absolutely loved it. But what really grips me about him is how he makes me feel as a viewer, because I go through so many emotions in such a short space of time with Art the Clown, and that is even more credit to David Howard Thornton and also Damien Leone for writing this character and guiding him through this. But for example, Art the Clown could be reading a newspaper and he's reading about someone who's in a terrible accident who has died or whatever, and he's sitting there just laughing his ass off, but silently, of course. And it kind of makes me laugh because I find it so funny, his face and stuff, but then next minute he might just stop and change his whole facial look and see someone sitting across from him with murder in mind, and then he will go over there and just walk towards him and think about killing him, and then I suddenly stop and I'm thinking, oh, what's gonna happen here? And I'll start to get a little bit nervous and waiting in anticipation for what he's about to do, and then he might make another little quick joke with his face, and then I'll nervously laugh, and then he's brutally murdering someone. I'm just like, oh my god, I was laughing 2 minutes ago. It's a roller coaster ride of emotions, and that is one of the best things about Terrifier 2. Now, there are a couple of dream sequences in this film, and I'm not really a fan of those, and I was like, oh, with a couple of them, but one moment really stood out to me, and it was one of the best scenes in the entire film, because everything I just mentioned there and more happens within 10 minutes, and the payoff of this dream sequence, the climax of it all, is just something I didn't see coming. As brutal as Art the Clown is, man, what he does here, I was just like, oh my goodness me, does this guy ever stop? Art the Clown just delivers and delivers and delivers in this movie. This film also just has a very bleak, gritty and dirty visual style to it, and I just felt like something bad was going to happen around every corner, even if it's just two normal characters talking to one another. I just felt like death was just around them all the time. It definitely feels like a place or a town where a maniacal killer like Art the Clown definitely belongs. Somewhere he just leaves death in his trail all the time. And it's a town that just feels like it really does have a suffering vibe attached to it. Now, I don't know if that's the budget constraints or this is what Damien Leone actually went for, but it really worked for the movie. Added to that, though, it does also have a little bit of an 80s feel to it as well, especially with some of the music choices here. But if you went to see this film in 1985, I don't think it would have looked out of place. And I think Damien Leone actually went for that, you know, taking inspiration from that slasher craze we had back then. I also knew going into this film that it was actually 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and that is almost unheard of for a slasher movie. Most of them are just 90 minutes. Well, sometimes even less when you look at the Friday the 13th films and stuff. And I was thinking, oh, is this going to drag out? Do we really need a slasher that is that long? But my god, this film absolutely flew by. I remember early on in this film, I needed a toilet break, so I just had to pause the movie there. And I thought I was about 25 minutes in. I was almost an hour in when the time come up. I could not believe it. I just want to give some more kudos to David Leone here, who directed this movie, because you can just tell he really understands the slasher genre. He understands what fans of the slasher genre want. And this isn't just a love letter to slasher fans. It's more of a amazingly looking gift-wrapped parcel for them. Now, I just want to get onto the characters here because it's a very mixed bag of thoughts for me, but Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera, was great in this movie. I thought she was an awesome final girl to get behind, and Lauren Lavera, alongside David Howard Thornton, is by far the best actor or actress in this film. She kind of shoulders above everyone else, and I can see her going on to great things, and she will be loved by many in the slasher genre now, I feel, because of this film. And I hope she does more of them, because she is a really great final girl, like I said. And her brother Jonathan is also a bit of a cool character. He's only like this 12-year-old kid, but he is looking into serial killers. It's kind of what he gets information on. And he's warning everyone about this Art the Clown character. So he's kind of the brains behind everything, and I thought he was a cool little side character as well. But my god, there are some characters in this movie that I just really did not like. They really grated on me. Like the mother, oh my god, I could not stand her, the way she talked to people. I just really wanted Art the Clown to get it over with and kill her and get her out of this movie. And also Sienna's friend here, who thinks it's okay to put drugs in her drink. And, you know, these are the type of people that are around the good characters, bad people. And it isn't helped that some of the cast aren't greatest of actors. Like, some of the dialogue and stuff didn't land too well. So yeah, like I said, a very mixed bag of thoughts for me, unfortunately. Now, one thing they tried to improve on in this sequel from the first movie is giving it a bit more of a story. And although I really did appreciate that, it just didn't quite hit for me in a lot of places. It just felt like a lot of ideas were thrown together on screen, but none of them were really connecting for me, unfortunately. I do think there is a great Terrifier movie out there with a great story they could make. Maybe Terrifier 3, who knows? But Terrifier 2 definitely just works when it's doing more of the slasher stuff. And although this runtime does fly by, the final act just feels like it's a little bit too long. This is the one part of the movie that felt a little bit dragged out, and I think they could have maybe cut that about 20 minutes, but I also understand that Damien Leone just wanted to give fans of the first movie this big gigantic sequel on the other hand. However, guys, I had a really good time with Terrifier 2. My anticipation was definitely met, I felt. It's not a perfect movie, but when it's doing a slasher stuff, it does it almost flawlessly here. It takes the slasher genre up a notch, and I can't wait to own these on Blu-ray, because we're getting a release, a double pack in the UK in mid-October, so I'll be definitely picking them up. And I just want to say a big thanks to Signature Entertainment for providing me with this screener. I'm just going to go ahead and rate this movie now. I'm going to give Terrifier 2 a 7.5 out of 10. I am definitely going to revisit this movie very, very soon. I can't wait to watch it again. And in the meantime, let's hope Damien Leone can work on Terrifier 3, because this is just a character that slasher fans are going to want more of. That is for sure. Okay, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for Terrifier 2 is that Damien Leone has actually said that Sienna is his favourite character he has ever written and has been dying to put her on screen. And he actually went on and said that she is my favourite character I have ever written, and seeing Lauren Lavera breathe life into her has been an absolute dream come true that I will cherish always. I cannot wait for all of you Terrifier fans to see it in action. I promise you won't be disappointed. And he also adds that Lauren Lavera was born to play Sienna. And you know what, Damien? I wasn't disappointed, because she was awesome in this film. Okay guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. Please consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video. It would really help me out. And what did you all think of Terrifier 2? Are you looking forward to watching this movie if you haven't seen it? Are you a fan of the first? Let me know in the comment down below, and I'll try and get back to every single one of you, I promise. Take it all easy, guys. And I'll see you all in the next video.